Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. It's a true pleasure and an honor to speak with you about one of the most iconic automobiles in American automotive history, the 1934 Ford Convertible Coupe. This car represents more than just a vehicle. It's a time capsule, a symbol of resilience, style, innovation, and culture from an era that faced both economic hardship and artistic rebirth. Let's take ourselves back to the early 1930s. The Great Depression had gripped the United States. People were struggling, businesses were failing, hope seemed scarce. Yet, even in such dire times, the automobile industry continued to innovate, and Ford Motor Company stood at the forefront of this progress. Under the leadership of Henry Ford and the emerging influence of his son, Edsel Ford, the company was not just producing cars, it was building dreams on wheels. One of those dreams was the 1934 Ford Convertible Coupe. The 1934 Ford was part of the Model 40 series, which itself was an evolution of the 1933 line. Although at first glance the 33 and 34 models may look similar, the 1934 Ford brought with it a host of refined features that elevated it in both appearance and performance. One of the most striking aspects was its design. Sleek, elegant lines gave it a more aerodynamic and modern look compared to its predecessors. The front grille became more pointed and distinct, giving the vehicle a slightly aggressive yet classy appearance. Chrome accents added flair, and the fenders were reshaped for a bolder, cleaner profile. But what truly sets the 1934 Ford Convertible Coupe apart isn't just its beauty, it's what's under the hood. This car came equipped with Ford's legendary Flathead V8 engine, a piece of engineering that revolutionized the automotive world. Introduced in 1932, this engine was one of the first affordable V8s on the market, and by 1934, it had already established a reputation for power and durability. Delivering around 85 horsepower, a significant number at the time, the Flathead V8 gave the Ford Convertible Coupe a robust performance that excited drivers of the era. It made the car not only desirable for its style but for its speed and sound, that signature rumble that became beloved by car enthusiasts and hot rodders for generations. The 1934 Ford Convertible Coupe was a car for many kinds of people. It was sporty yet elegant, accessible yet aspirational. Its convertible top allowed drivers to enjoy open-air motoring, a luxury experience that many Americans associated with freedom and prestige. You could cruise down country roads with the wind in your hair or make a statement pulling up to a city theater. It fit into any backdrop, whether rustic or metropolitan. This versatility is part of what makes it such a timeless classic. Edsel Ford had a strong influence on the design language of this era. Unlike his father, who was more interested in utility and simplicity, Edsel understood the importance of aesthetics and customer appeal. His vision brought elegance to Ford vehicles, and you can see that clearly in the lines and proportions of the 1934 Coupe. The long hood, the flowing fenders, the detailed trim, they all reflect a sense of style that was ahead of its time. From a technical standpoint, the 1934 model brought several improvements over previous years. It featured better suspension, improved brakes, and a stronger frame. These enhancements not only made the car more enjoyable to drive but also safer, which was becoming an increasingly important concern as speeds increased and road infrastructure evolved. The transmission was a 3-speed manual, which required skill but provided an engaging driving experience. The solid rear axle and leaf spring suspension were typical for the time but tuned in a way that balanced comfort with handling. Drivers appreciated how the car felt on the road. It was responsive, steady, and trustworthy. Let's talk a bit about the cultural impact of the 1934 Ford Convertible Coupe. This car became an icon not just in the world of automobiles, but in the broader cultural consciousness of America. It was often seen in films, associated with gangsters, detectives, and high-speed chases. It was the kind of car that people dreamed of owning, stylish, fast, and emblematic of rebellion. This was especially true during the Prohibition era and the early days of organized crime. In fact, the car became so notorious for being used by criminals, because of its speed and reliability, that it even drew the attention of the FBI. The infamous bank robber John Dillinger was known to favor Fords, particularly V8-powered models like the 34. There's a famous quote attributed to Dillinger in a letter to Henry Ford, thanking him for making such a fast and reliable car. Whether that story is apocryphal or not, it speaks to the legend that surrounded this vehicle. Beyond the drama and the chase scenes, the 1934 Ford Convertible Coupe had a quieter, more heartfelt presence in American life. For many families, owning a car like this was a dream come true, a sign that despite hard times, things were still possible. It was a car that symbolized ambition and optimism. Weddings, road trips, first dates, the coupe was there, part of people's most cherished memories. Fast forward to today, and the 1934 Ford Convertible Coupe is a highly sought-after collector's item. Restorers and enthusiasts around the world cherish this car for its historical value and timeless design. When you see one at a car show or classic auction, it's not just a car on display, it's a rolling piece of American history. And if you're lucky enough to hear one start up, that deep V8 rumble transports you back in time like a sonic time machine. It's not just about nostalgia, it's about recognizing craftsmanship, innovation, and design that still resonates nearly a century later. Many restorers go to great lengths to bring these cars back to original condition. Every bolt, every trim piece, every stitch in the upholstery is considered with care. And while some enthusiasts choose to hot rod their 34 Fords, modifying them with modern engines, suspensions, and custom paint jobs, there's a deep respect in the community for preserving the original look and spirit of the car. Whether you're a purist or a customizer, there's no denying the 1934 Ford's importance in the history of American motoring. It's worth mentioning that the convertible coupe, with its folding top and sporty stance, is one of the rarest and most valuable body styles. Not many were made, and fewer still survived the decades in restorable condition. When one does come up for sale, especially if it's in original or expertly restored condition, it commands high prices and intense interest. Collectors see it not just as a car, but as an investment, a piece of art, a symbol. Now, let's imagine for a moment that you are behind the wheel of a 1934 Ford Convertible Coupe. The top is down, the wind carries the scent of spring. Your hands grip the large, metal-spoked steering wheel. The dashboard in front of you is simple, elegant, analog gauges with soft backlighting. You reach down, shift into gear, and press the accelerator. That Flathead V8 growls to life. The car moves, not with the sterile precision of a modern vehicle, but with character, with soul. Every vibration, every sound is telling you a story. This is not just transportation, it's an experience. And that, I think, is the heart of the matter. The 1934 Ford Convertible Coupe is more than just an old car. It's a storyteller. It speaks of a time when design was thoughtful, when mechanics were straightforward yet powerful, and when every journey was a bit more of an adventure. It reminds us of what it means to dream during difficult times, and how those dreams, when realized, can become lasting legacies. So today, as we reflect on this remarkable vehicle, let's appreciate not just its engineering or its beauty, but its place in history. Let's honor the designers, the builders, the dreamers who made it possible. Let's celebrate the journeys it's taken, the lives it's touched, and the stories still left to tell. Thank you.